Like Bidenomics. He's heading to South Carolina today, where the president will aim to double down on his pitch to voters that he and his administration have indeed boosted the economy, made things better for the everyday American. The president will be touring a company in West Columbia, discussing investments for manufacturing. He's also reportedly planning to call out Republicans who voted against his agenda. He's doing a lot of calling out. Chris Stirewalt, NewsNation political editor, is with me right now. Chris, is Bidenomics a lot of hot air?
Well, I mean, these are politicians, so we got to have a sliding scale. We don't want to just, I mean, yeah. So yes, comma, but he will benefit. The president will benefit, or is benefiting by the fact that inflation has gradually decreased, and as we heard from the Federal Reserve the other day, that the forecast right now is modestly good, is modestly okay. And Americans' concerns about the economy have slightly been allayed. The real reason Joe Biden's in South Carolina, though, is because he needs South Carolina to be really important for him again, as it was in 2020. South Carolina, Joe Biden, if you'll recall, in 2020, his nomination was going the wrong direction after Iowa, New Hampshire looked like trouble. South Carolina, voters in South Carolina, particularly African-American voters, particularly women, saved Joe Biden and made him the nominee, which made him president. He changed the Democratic primary calendar. At his behest, the Democratic National Committee changed the calendar, and they're going to snub New Hampshire. He says there's going to be no New Hampshire. But Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says, I'll be all about New Hampshire. So Joe Biden really needs to play up South Carolina and have this be the decisive moment for him in his renomination.
Well, schedule changes aside, I think a lot of Americans are asking, how in the world can the president brag on his economic victories with so many still facing staffing shortages in a number of industries, small businesses struggling, and then this immigration crisis of epic proportion? There are millions of people in this country who say they want to work but can't work because it's illegal.
Well, look, politicians are going to brag about their accomplishments, and they're going to minimize the things that aren't working. That's what you do when you run for re-election. You try to accentuate the positive. You try to eliminate the negative. And I expect that's what Joe Biden will try to do. Joe Biden right now has to get his party on board. He has to keep Democrats together with him, emphasize those things. And then after he feels like he has the nomination all sewn up, then he has to keep the focus. And this trip is demonstrates that dichotomy. Part of the trip is for Democrats, and then the other part is a pivot to attack Republicans, to attack Trumpism, to attack MAGA, because that's really his ticket to a second term.
It's funny when you said eliminate the negative. Of course, I'm listening to that song in my head now. You got to eliminate the negative and don't listen to Mr. In-Between, which might be Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. He'd be the perfect definition of Mr. In-Between. He's defining Bidenomics in a new interview, saying, quote, it means you pay more for everything in life. How much is your grocery bill? How much does it cost to buy a new car? So all the staples of life are increasingly becoming unaffordable for average Americans. And it is a direct result of bad federal policy. So, I mean, is anybody paying attention to what Mr. DeSantis has to say about Bidenomics? Or is he in an echo chamber?
I mean, millions of Republicans who are going to vote in the upcoming primaries there'll be more than 30 million Republicans will vote in these primaries, including in South Carolina and Super Tuesday states. All of those places are keen to figure out who their best choice to go up against Joe Biden is right now. DeSantis had a tough opening act in his candidacy, but is looking to stabilize and regain some of that ground. So you got to say something.
You got to say something. Vivek Ramaswamy, it looks like he's gaining in the polls, I think around 10% now. So people watching, though still former President Trump in the lead. Are you that face? You're saying, no, that's not true?
Maybe. I haven't seen that poll. I would be eager to see it because that would mean a very changed race. So that's interesting.
How would you say it would change, considering that former President Trump is so far ahead?
No, it would just be a change that if Vivek Ramaswamy had been at 4 or 5% and was now at 10%, that would put him ahead of more mainstream candidates like Tim Scott, Mike Pence, and others. That would be a change in the race.
All right, I'll send it to you. I'll email it to you.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.